Good morning and welcome to another daily live webcast called Jenn Cast, a live show that happens Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern here on YFElive.com. I'm your host, Jennifer Donogh, and today is Try It Out Tuesday. And for Try It Out Tuesday, we are trying out PicMonkey. Not only are we trying it out, but we're also going to be talking to the CMO, Lisa. She's going to be on with us shortly to tell us a little bit more about how PicMonkey went from being Picnik into being what we see today. So again, thank you so much for showing up live. If you're watching live later on YouTube or iTunes, make sure that you comment below with any takeaways that you have or how you use PicMonkey in your own business so that you can share with other young female entrepreneurs. So let's go ahead and welcome Lisa on. We've got a mini Lisa today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for asking me. I'm excited to be here.
So you're in the Seattle area as well, and PicMonkey, you said, is now up to 17 employees. And this is the second iteration of this type of an application. It first started with Picnik, and I feel like a lot of young female entrepreneurs were probably just starting their business or maybe blogging at that time when Picnik was out. Can you tell us a little bit about how everything started and how you got to this point today?
Sure. So Picnik was really revolutionary for its time. It was really the kind of the big, little guy taking on the big guy. It was the first really great web app that took on like Photoshop and said that there's an alternative way to have, instead of big box, complicated, expensive software, have something that's a little bit lighter, less expensive, and easier to use. And so Picnik had phenomenal growth, was really revolutionary for its time, and eventually was purchased by Google. And so the team the founders and the team that worked at Picnik at that time moved over with acquisition and was working at Google. And Google, for strategic reasons, eventually decided to shut down Picnik and did not put an ample replacement in the market. So there was a lot of people who were very disappointed and really relied on Picnik for personal use as well as professional use. So when Picnik closed, there was quite a large void in the market. And around the same time, a few of us decided that we really preferred a smaller, more entrepreneurial company, and we left Google. And so we really decided that, we could do this again, and PicMonkey was formed and founded. And so we really strived to fit not only the void that Picnik had left behind, but also do it better, faster, more engaging. And so
better,
we're really
faster, stronger.
So we're pretty happy with where it is. I mean, it's a very fun, very helpful, very productive app. So we're very excited.
Yeah, and now it's just available. So last week we had on the CMO for Director. She's not the CMO. She was kind of an all-hats girl for Director, and it's an application just for iPhone right now, and that was kind of a bummer for those using Android. So just to clarify, PicMonkey is a desktop application.
That's correct. Right now we're a web app only.
Yeah, and then is there any plans in the future to go mobile, or is this mainly the desktop space is where you're looking at?
No, it makes a lot of sense for us to have a monkey on the go. It's where a lot of photos are being taken now, so it makes sense for us, and we eventually will be there.
And now, one of the things that Picnik did, or why Google purchased you, as far as I understand, is that they were going to incorporate Picnik within their own like Hangouts and photo editing on Google Plus, that type of a thing. Is PicMonkey, are you guys doing that with other applications? Are you opening up an API so that people can bring in this photo editing into their own apps?
Yes, so we do have an API, so anyone can have photo editing embedded in their site or their product, and it's free to use, and it's really nice. So you can just embed PicMonkey into your app or site. People can do whatever they're doing on your site. Just click edit a photo, opens the photo right in context. They can party on it and then save it right back to the website where they are. So it's a really streamlined and nice API.
So, and I feel a little silly asking you about how to use PicMonkey, because this is what we do. We try something out, and I feel like most young female entrepreneurs know what PicMonkey is. But at the same time, on Friday, we had on someone that was telling us how to use Pinterest as a service provider, and they mentioned PicMonkey as an application. And I was surprised how many people on the chat had never heard of PicMonkey. And so just to go over it quickly, there's some interesting features that weren't available in Picnik that you guys have added, and pretty recently too. The idea that you can even start a photo on PicMonkey rather than having to bring in a photo to edit is a big deal.
Right, absolutely. So we call it like a blank, internally we call it blank canvas. So it's a way of not only opening up creativity on the photography side, but also more of a graphic design. So small businesses can use it for flyers, you can create your business card, you can create a logo for blogs or your sites, your company's site, you can create like a header, backgrounds, things like that. So it's really nice. So it's a really fun new feature that we have, and it's really getting really good traction.
Well, and you don't have to, like you said, it's not all about photographs. You don't have to be an amazing photographer or anything like that. Like we're showing right now, you can add in overlays and all sorts of interesting things. Like you have the Facebook cover option, which I know is a kind of a pain point for a lot of young female entrepreneurs. They want everything to look good, but they don't necessarily want to allocate funds to something as simple as a Facebook cover. So I think this is a really nice medium where you're able to just use a service like this to edit it. So Lisa, I wanted to ask you about the price of PicMonkey, because like we've been saying in our marketing for the show, PicMonkey is a free online application. But there is also a yearly membership or subscription fee, which is only $33.
That's correct, yes. Or we also have a monthly option if people just prefer to go that route, and which is $4.99.
Yeah. So why $33? It seems like kind of an arbitrary number, and also a very low number for what you're getting, because you're getting all these extra fonts. And as you see, if you go through PicMonkey, and let me open this up for you guys. As you go through PicMonkey, you'll see that there's little crowns on the items that are for the upgraded version. But what I like about that is that if someone uses PicMonkey, like we were talking about on Friday, our guest was saying to just add these fonts, but I can always spot someone that uses PicMonkey in the free version because they use kind of the same fonts, the same styles. And so I really love the people that go up above and beyond and use the crown version. So why keep it so low? Is this a number that we're going to assume is going to be going up in the future?
Well, I think we want to make sure it's a good value. We have a lot of younger consumers who we want to make sure it's within a price point that's within their reach. We also want to make sure that we just want to encourage people to use PicMonkey. We have a lot of free users as well, and so we want to make sure that it's low enough and interesting enough that they feel like they're getting a good value. So I think at the end of the day, we don't want to appear cheap. We want to appear like we're a good value. We feel like we have really wonderful content. Our designers create a lot of proprietary hand-drawn illustrations. So we really try to keep the content bar high, but we really want to make sure that there's a good value there. And so we just want to make sure that we keep it lower than box software, but also within reach. We're realistic. We know we're competing against maybe some free apps on a phone, for example. So we just want to make sure that we find that nice sweet spot on our pricing.
That's a great point. I mean, there is some competitors out there, but they're definitely not at the same level that PicMonkey is at. I feel like you guys have already been to the rodeo. You know what people are interested in purchasing. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about is how to use PicMonkey in the non-traditional route. So again, like I said, if I open up Instagram and I see a quote on there that's in an image, I can tell if it's someone did it on PicMonkey. So is there any kind of like secret ninja things that people are doing that have really impressed your team?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Well, we actually we created hopefully this answers your question a little bit, because I could really go on and on, but we actually created a blog post that was blog posts of other people who had really great tips and tricks on how to use PicMonkey and who created some really wonderful things. There's some really great tools on the Royale side, which are a little bit more advanced, where we have like cloning tools and things of that nature, which give you a little bit of a leg up. I think the other thing is that people can just click on a filter and then just leave it at that, but you really can use slider bars to really kind of help fine tune it. You can use more than one filter, but really, definitely like fade it so it's not over editing. When you're in the text, you can use different controls to make different, each letter of what you're saying, different sizes, different, if you want to put one letter, like the first letter bold, for example. You can also do, I think, the shift control lock, where you can kind of like make different overlays and text, like different, oh, I forgot the word for it, sorry. But you can like modify them in a different shape, different aspect ratios. So I think those are some things. I think it's more the fine grain where you really can get into unlocking your own individual creativity. Rather than just like putting on one filter, one font and walking away. I think if you just added that extra like maybe 60, 90 seconds to do a little bit more fine grain, you could really make it unique to yourself.
I love that idea. The idea that you can layer filters on top of filters. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed that you guys added was the idea that you can add your own overlays in, which I don't know if people know this, but if you go into the overlay section, I'll show you guys here, you're able to quickly just upload something from your desktop and including a logo. So if you have a logo in a ping format or something like that, you can add that over into your picture so that it's watermarked. I mean, there's all sorts of fun stuff that you can do that make it really easy, like you said, that you don't have to have that expensive Photoshop software that you're putting onto your computer. Now, as far as if I'm working with a team of people, Lisa, and I have a subscription to PicMonkey, is there a way that should I just share my username and password with like my virtual assistant or someone like that? Or do they have a unique username and password? I assume most virtual assistants would be subscribers to PicMonkey by now, though.
That's right. So we don't necessarily have the sense of a corporate account or an enterprise account. So typically people tend to buy individual ones, but certainly if you're using it for a company, I'm sure that there's people that share their accounts. And of course, we'd love everyone to upgrade, but we certainly understand if you're at a corporate account and you want to share that with your assistant, that makes sense also.
Now, and there's another feature that I didn't really notice. There's an affiliates program now.
Yes, so we rolled that out, I think, at the end of last year. It was a little bit of a quiet launch just to make sure everything was working great, but we're getting louder and more proud about that. It's a pretty aggressive affiliate program. We've had such great support from blogging community, and they were really talking about us. We really wanted to give away, if they're talking about us anyway, we might as well give them an opportunity to earn money doing that. And so we've been rolling that out and talking more and more about it. And we're really happy with and really proud of the affiliate program we put together. It's a pretty aggressive payout. We just want to really make sure that we're encouraging people to talk about PicMonkey, talk about Royale, and adding a link on their site.
That's an awesome idea, especially with all of the social media pros that are on the chat right now, you guys. If you're already putting out tutorials, it says 50% commission on the initial purchase, and then there's even a payout on renewals.
That's correct. So we pay 50%. So if someone buys an annual or a monthly, we pay 50% that first one. And if someone upgrades on the annual or the monthly, and they renew each month, we'll pay 25% on each of those up to a year, and then 25% on the first year renewal as well.
So cool. So now, Lisa, is there anything exciting coming down the pipeline that we should know about?
Oh, well, I don't have anything officially to announce, but I did give a little bit of a hat tip to the mobile monkey. That's certainly something that we're focused and excited about. It makes a lot of sense just to extend the PicMonkey kind of love and brand to more platforms. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we are focused on and thinking about right now.
I love that it's called Mobile Monkey. I hope it stays that way. That's such a cute name. So now, Lisa, and any last words as far as, because like you said at the very beginning of this, it started out as Picnik. Google purchased it. You joined the team. You were working over at Google, and then you guys kind of ended that relationship and moved on. Now, we have next Wednesday someone else that recently sold their company, and it was a very amicable type of a movement where he's no longer working for them and everything is very happy. Now, is that the same thing that you would say for PicMonkey, and what advice would you give to others who are considering that type of an exit strategy?
Sure. So I would say it definitely is amicable. I think that I had a wonderful time at Google. I think hopefully I speak for all of us. We had a great time there. We learned a lot. We're very thankful for the opportunity. And there still are some Picnik people who are still there. But I think just some of us just preferred a little bit more of the smaller atmosphere. But I think as far as if you are planning an exit where you have an acquisition, especially if you get into a big company, and I wish I could give this advice to myself, is to be a little bit more assertive when you first get there. I think I was trying to be the good soldier and really, follow the rules and, do as I was told, when really they purchased us and they brought us in to rock the boat a little bit. And I wish I would have been a little bit more assertive and pushed back a little bit more. And maybe would have made me lead a little bit faster, because maybe I would have felt like I was hitting my head against the wall, but at least for my own self, I would know I was really pushing the boundaries a little bit instead of just kind of falling into a big company culture so easily and kind of just feeling dismayed about not being able to move the needle. So that would be the advice I would give. I think it's a great opportunity, but you really need to make sure that you just don't kind of are passive about it when you move from your entrepreneur, especially if it's your company, it's your baby, and then being moved in. And even if you end up not winning those battles, at least you know for yourself that you fought the good fight.
That's a great piece of advice. It's definitely something that I feel like I would have the same problem with, where you go into a company and you're like, okay, now I must be under this corporate culture. But like you said, they purchased you for a reason. So Lisa, where can everyone find out more about PicMonkey?
Sure. So we're PicMonkey.com, PIC and then monkey.com. We have a Facebook page, which is called PicMonkey app. We also have a Twitter handle, which is PicMonkey app. We have a great Pinterest page where you can see some of our designers' inspiration, as well as some of the things that they've made with PicMonkey. And we have a fabulous blog. We have a wonderful writer, which if you know PicMonkey, you see in our branded voice. She writes some really fantastic blog articles. And I think I've mentioned them all. So we kind of dabble in Tumblr a little bit, but we're not too much in there now. So I would say between our blog, Facebook, and Twitter, that's a great place. And then, of course, I encourage you to check out PicMonkey.com and try the product. And I'd love to hear what all of your viewers think about it, good, bad, and the ugly. What would they like to see? What do they love? We love that kind of feedback. We live for it.
Well, and hopefully everyone will definitely check out the blog, too. I feel like there's little gems in there that if you don't necessarily look at it, you'll miss it. So, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thanks to all of your viewers as well.
All right, everyone, you've just been watching Lisa. She's a CMO of PicMonkey.com. Make sure that you try it out for Try It Out Tuesday. Make a point of heading over there and checking it out, especially the upgraded version, because you do get some interesting fonts and other overlays that I feel like a lot of us who are using it for free right now are not taking advantage of. I know I had the paid for Picnik. And then I think I was even reimbursed when they went to Google. But so anyway, you've been watching the daily live webcast called Jenn Cast that happens Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We are moving to a new time next week at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, still on wifelive.com. I'm your host, Jennifer Donogh. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic Try It Out Tuesday. Bye, everyone.